So this is March of 2022. This is graduation class number 6 from Chief Cornerstone. Gentlemen, what are you going to do with the information that you have obtained over the past 10 weeks, and how are you going to apply it?
You know, for several years, Blake had asked me if I wanted to go through the Courageous Bible Study, and you know, as a 25-year-old who's single and don't have any kids, you know, in my mind, why would I want to go through something like that? I'm not in that position, so why would I want to take that role of taking this class? And you know, finally he stepped on my toes enough that, you know, I just surrendered to him, and we talked, and we figured it'd be the best if, you know, there's a lot of people in this class that are the same age, and you know, I told Blake, you know, that's, if I was going to be in it, I want to be with, you know, the same group of guys, and you know, there's a lot of people in here that can keep me accountable for the rest of my life. And Courageous Bible Study, right out of the gate, just really steps on your toes and shows you who you are and who you really need to be as a man, not only just as a father or as a husband, but as a man in general of God. And you know, I went through it, and I thought, you know, I don't have any kids, I don't have a wife. Why would I want to take the class? And like I said, right off the bat, it really stepped on my toes, and it showed me where I was messing up as a man of God. And someone that I want to be is courageous. I want to be a man of integrity. I want to be a man that stands for the cause of Christ, and a man that asks for forgiveness when he does wrong, and forgives when wrong is done to him. And forgiveness is something I've really dealt with my whole life, you know, with things my parents have done to me, you know, my mom or my dad, and you know, this stuff that I've held on to for a long time. And in this Bible study, we learned that being a man of God, that those are chains that are holding you down. Those are strongholds on your life that keep you from being the man of God that He wants you, being the man that God wants you to be. And you know, one night we was one a lesson. It was about forgiveness, and we wrote some things down on a piece of paper, and we took it outside and we burned it. And ever since we did that, I hate to say it this way, but the hatred that I had towards some of the people in my life, I don't have that hate anymore. That's still out there in the grass, where the ashes are, where the wind blew it away. It's not there anymore. And you know, I guess everybody here can probably testify as well. But you know, homework isn't the best thing. Homework sucks. But I really enjoyed doing the homework and reading, and because, you know, even though it stepped on my toes, it showed me where I want to be and where I need to be as a man of God. So I just want to say thank you, Blake. Thank you, Chris, for having this, and Chief Cornerstone for allowing us to go through this class.
You know, all my life I've been in church, and I grew up with good morals and a religion basis, you know. And as I got older, you know, and started thinking about, you know, marriage and, you know, kids and stuff, I had a good fundamental mindset of raising godly kids and having a godly household. You know, that's every Christian's mindset. But you know, once I got married and had a little boy, seems like all we do is work, and every day's busy, and you kind of lose your focus on what's truly important. And this class has been a blessing, you know, to be able to get me back grounded and get my hands back on the plow on what's important. You it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things and how to be a better husband and a better dad. And just thank Blake and Chris for opening us up to this class, and it's really been life-changing. Got a bunch of accountability partners here to help us get through it and to stay courageous.
You know, getting started into this group and this class, my brother introduced me to it. Really didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I thought it was just another Bible study, getting to know God a little easier and a little better. But I had a little bit of an awakening. I found out just how bad I was messing up in life and where I went wrong. You know, not being the husband and the father that I should have been. You know, I kind of fell asleep at the wheel and let my wife take course and lead my family, and that's not her job. That's my job as a man of the house. And I really found out pretty quickly that, you know, I had failed those things, and I couldn't make myself happy because I didn't realize what I was missing, and it was God. And learning how to treat my wife with respect and being there for her at every waking second, and, you know, raising my child is just, I thought I had everything in the bag and I was doing the right thing, but my child wasn't really listening, and I wasn't really listening to God talk. And, you know, as we're going through this class and we started going over these lessons, Chris and Blake really hit the nail on the head for me, and, you know, it opened up my eyes. You know, I've got to be tender with my family and be patient and be still and listen, and things just start flowing easier and life gets easier, and you start to get content and you start to get happy. And I really struggled with having to be in control of my family and in life, and I was stretching for authority, but I wasn't doing it in the right places. And, you know, they've really taught me to get in the Bible and read the Bible, and things start happening for you, and God starts showing up, and you can start seeing His visions and hearing His word. And these guys that we've been doing this class with are hands down the best people that I can think of to keep me accountable for years to come. And I couldn't ask for a better group of guys. You know, when they say they're there for you, they're there for you. They love us, and they want the best for you. And it's really changed my life for the better.
I just want to start off by saying that I have learned a lot in this class. From week one, talking about being selfish, that was me headed down the wrong path, not doing the things I need to at home, not stepping up, being a husband, a father, a leader. And I can truly say from week one, I spoke out in here about how I don't spend time with my son or my wife. I go to work and I come home and I sit down and I watch my ball games. But from that week on till now, I really put forth the effort through prayer and really trying to be a part of my family and with my son. And in these 8-week sessions, and I know it's taken a few months, but I can see a major change. And it really touches deep when you come home and you see your son run to you. You know, he basically feels like he loves you. He loves you, and your wife has a smile, and you're happy when you come in. It's just, this class has taught me so much through this whole time that you could talk on, and I just want to say thank you to each and every person in here, because they mean a lot, and I've gotten a lot off my chest. And going forward, it's really put an outlook into my life for my son, as Blake spoke about, and Chris, when he does turn 7-8 years old, and how I can teach him the right way by the way I love my wife and respect my wife, to show him how to treat a woman, how to treat his girlfriend, how to treat his wife. And I can't thank Blake and Chris enough for everything they've done and the time they spent and the prayer. I know they've prayed for us daily, multiple times a day, and I thank them so much for that. And I just want to thank again every person in here and the accountability that we're going to have together.
3, 2.
In this class, I've learned a lot about legacy and raising your children the correct way. I was never raised in church growing up. A lot of people talk about how they want to grow up and be like their father or mother. I gotta say, I don't want to be like my father. I want to be able to leave a godly legacy for my kids, to be able to pass down generation to generation. This class really woke me up about as far as how to teach my kids and to love them. You showed a different way to love your kids. Just going home, sitting around, watching TV, that's just not it. And being a Christian is more than just going to church on Sundays, Wednesdays. It's in every aspect of life. And I want that to be able to give it to my kids and show them. And I want to be able to leave a godly legacy. I don't want to be remembered as, just someone that went to church. I want it to be actual meaningful and be held accountable. This group is an awesome group. Chris and Blake have done an awesome job. It's meant a lot. It's changed a lot in my life. And hopefully others can accept it as would take this class. It's a very good class, and I thank them.
So this class has been great, and I've been blessed to go through it with a really good group of guys. And I always thought I was doing a really good job as a husband and a father. And over the past 8 weeks, come to find out there were a lot of areas I could improve on. And there were things, even growing up in the church my whole life, I hadn't considered. And one thing that really helped me out the most was forgiveness. There's some things in my past I hadn't forgiven myself for, and this class helped me get over that, and that was a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. And another thing, I want to be the spiritual leader. My father he did a great job. I'm not going to say he's not, but I'm going to be the spiritual leader that I needed. And I've got young kids now, and this class taught me that I need to win their hearts and keep them, so I can lead them in the right direction. And so when they get a little older, I'm going to reflect back on that so I can be the leader that they need. And I know Chris and Blake put a lot of time and effort into this, and I really appreciate their sacrifices and prayers. And I really thank everybody that's been a part of this.
As I reflect back to the time kind of leading up to prior to us beginning this actual class, I kind of thought back to some of the previous Bible studies I've been through, as well as messages that our pastor had taught on, the responsibility of the man being the spiritual leader of the home. And that was already kind of something that was weighing pretty heavy. That's a big responsibility that we carry. And so coming into this class with men like Blake and Chris and the ones that have gone through the class prior to holding us accountable from the get-go, I was pretty nervous when we first set in, the first few weeks, because I knew it was tough based on the testimonies of the previous men that's been through. And it is, the first few weeks just absolutely break you down. They force you to look internally. You come in kind of thinking you may have some of this stuff together, and you quickly find out that you're slacking. They force you to look inside and kind of do a heart check. I don't want that to scare anybody. It's tough, but it's necessary. It has to happen because it gives you that hunger to want to change. And then going forward, from those few weeks, it gives you the tools that you need to lead your household as a man of God, and to lead your fellow peers, and be a leader in the church as well. Kind of gives you those tools, and starts changing your mindset. Thinking along those lines. And I know for myself, it gave me a hunger of wanting to be better at speaking Jesus to my wife, speaking Jesus to my daughter, any future kids that the Lord blesses me with, speaking Jesus to my peers and my friends and my family. And then the icing on the cake as well. You get these pals that are in this class, and previous classes as accountability partners as well that are going to pick you up when they do see you slipping or when you do fall. You've got somebody to lean back on, and that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me what Blake and Chris put into this class with their hearts, their mindsets, and the prayer going, beginning every class. You can tell that it means a lot to them, so it means a lot to us. So, going forward, I just want to make sure that I apply that and do better at speaking Jesus to my wife and my daughter, and showing them not only how much I love them, but what they mean in the eyes of God as well.
So, in this Courageous Men's class, one of the first things that I truly learned in this class is being a better husband for my wife. And one of the things that I did, previous to this class is when she had feelings, come upon her shoulders, I would sort of just take those feelings in one ear and out the other. I never did really take those feelings to heart to help her. But since this class, I've been able to be that husband that I need to be and truly just give it all I've got to be there for her and help her and give her what she needs to get through that. And also just just not just help her with her feelings, but anything throughout the house. It's not just the woman's job for the man to go to work and come home and the woman to do everything in the house. It's also the man's responsibility. He's the first to wake up and the last to go to bed. And so when I get home from work, I would just, play with the kids and while she's doing dishes or the laundry or just picking up the house, now that I realize that it's not just the woman's job to take care of the house, it's the man's job to help her until things are done. So when I get home now it's when we get done eating supper, I do the dishes or I pick up to show her that I appreciate and love what everything that she does for us. And so one of the second things that I truly learned in this class is when you do spend the time with your children, make that time count. Don't go home and just play with them for 30 seconds and sit in a recliner. Really make sure that your child understands and realizes that when you do play with them, or not even just play with them, spend time with them, that you're really trying to put all you have into that child. Because like Clayton said earlier, you have to win their hearts. And when you win their hearts from that 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, that reflects back to when they go a teenager, and that reflects back on the rest of their life. And that's something I want my kids to look up to me to see, man, my dad's a really godly dad, and that's how I want to be one day. I want to raise my children up to be like that. So one of the things that I did change, in reflection upon this class, is I spent time with my children, but I did not take that time and put quality into it. I did not show them and really get into playing with them and giving them my respect and my time. And I would just play with them 30 minutes or maybe 10 minutes and get in a recliner and watch shows on TV or just, something like that. But now I just, if we do watch shows, I make sure the kids are in my lap or something, or I just try to, instead of doing it alone, I try to include them or do what they want to do and play with toys or whatever. So I just want to thank Chief Cornerstone for giving Blake and Chris the opportunity to teach this Courageous Men's class. And I just want to encourage every young teenager, 20s, 30s, it doesn't matter your age. If you're married, single, have kids, no kids, this class is something for you. It's really shocking the first 3 to 5 weeks, and it really breaks you down and shows you the things that you need to improve on. But this class, after that period of time, it takes it and it explains it to you, and it shows you, okay, Chandler, you need to do this, and this is how you correct that. It's like a dictionary. It really shows you the things you need to change and how you can improve them. And so I just want to thank Chris and Blake for all the time that they do in this class and the prayers before before every lesson, and I just want to thank all the guys in here, because I need somebody to beat my back and show me accountable and keep me accountable, and I just want to want to thank you all for everything that y'all do.
Ever since the first Courageous class, Blake has been coming up to me and asking me to take this class, and I kept putting it off and kept putting it off, and in the back of my mind I knew that the reason I put it off was because I didn't want to know the truth about, where my mistakes were and where I'd fallen short. And so, finally, after I had a kid, God's timing was here, and it was time for me to take this class. And as soon as I walked through the door, the group of guys in here, I just knew that there was going to be a lifelong bond there. It was a great group of guys that will always be, a part of my family, and guys that I would do anything for. But as soon as we started that class, I realized, maybe I was a good dad or a good husband or okay, but I was not the godly dad and husband that I needed to be. And this class tore me down for 3 to 4 weeks and showed me every week, something that I needed to work on, something that I had fallen short of. And those last 4 and 5 weeks to rebuild were just amazing. And, it was something that I will always remember and something that I will continue to go back to. It really taught me how to be the godly leader and the godly husband and the godly father. And it makes me so happy to know that my kid will never know me before this class. My son will always know the godly father that he had. And that's the one thing I'm going to always take away from this class. And I just want to thank Chris and Blake for all the prayer and hard studying they've done every week, even through all the trials we've had during this class. They came and they were ready to teach this class and ready to be a part of it. And to finish it out, if you have never taken this class, I would highly suggest it. I promise you it will be worth every minute of it.